Broadway, listen to the Broadway beat. Broadway makes you wanna move your feet. Everybody's tapping into everything that's happening on Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway Beat. Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin are back on Broadway together for the first time since their Tony Award-winning roles in Evita. They're at the Ethel Barrymore Theater for 63 performances only in an evening with Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with them.
It's us, old friend. What's to discuss, old friend? Here's to us, who's like us, damn few.
We were at Niagara Falls a couple of years ago, and Sunday in the Park with George was playing at a small community theater, and it was just at intermission, just in time to see the first act finale. And the box office people, we were just walking down the street, and Patti said, "He's the original star," and they wouldn't let us in. You know, she didn't, the woman had no clue. But so we went on, but we thought maybe they'd let us in to see the first act finale, you know. But no, but we've had lots of fun, great times.
Look at us, Charlie. Nothing's the way that it was. I want it the way that it was. Help me stop remembering them. Don't you remember? It was good, it was really good. Help me out, Charlie. Make it like it was.
My son has, for half of the last decade, my son has had his birthday in a theater. And this was, I think, the first opening night. And he turned 21 on the 21st. It's his golden birthday. And we brought him up on stage. We had a fabulous sign made. And he thought the 18th was the best one because several people gave him a $100 bill or $25 bills, and they took him to Hustler, and he got lap dances at 18. But he was on stage at the Barrymore Theater for this one.
Oh, I think this is better than the 18th, the 21st.
Right, and so yeah.
But just tell me what tonight meant to you, being back on Broadway with Mandy for the first time.
I know, it's a big thing. I mean, it's hard to describe. There are really no words. He's my acting partner, he's my ballast, he's my emotional rock. And I wish I was on stage with him every single time I was on stage. I adore him.
I love the structure of the show. Would you just talk about how that all came about?
That just came about by Mandy and Paul Ford. I was doing Noises Off at the time, but that came about through Mandy and Paul. And Mandy wanted to tell a particular story, and Paul helped him select and find the music, really, find and select the music. So I had very little to do with it. I'm just the girl singer with the band.
I love that. The show is seamless, the way Mandy has put the whole thing together.
I have to agree with you. And it feels good. It really feels good. So, and that's the best thing. You know, we're not uncomfortable up there. We're not uncomfortable in the show. We're not uncomfortable with each other. So.
I think this is the perfect theater. Just talk about what it's like working at the Barrymore.
It's unbelievable to open up and sing in this theater. I'm hoping that the next thing I do is in the Barrymore. But it's, you know, to open up and sing, it comes back. These old houses are great in that respect. You know, I mean, I would rather be in one of these houses than in a new theater, just because the sound comes back and you can relax. You can, I can sing, I can pull back. I love it. I'm having a great time.
And you're doing 63 performances in New York because you've got to go back on the road again with the show.
Kansas.
Is that?
Yeah, Kansas. We got booked in Kansas last year. We got to honor the contract.
How exciting is it for you to travel this show across the country? What that's been like?
It's being on the road. I mean, I do my solo shows. Mandy does his solo shows. Then we get together and do this. But it's just the road. You know what I mean? It's the road. It can be fun and it can be a pain in the ass. But
it must feel great to be here back on Broadway.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I'll hold your hand, they're just like
My mother will start to worry.
beautiful. What's your
My father will be pacing the floor.
listen to the fireplace
So really,
roar.
I'd better stop.
Beautiful, please don't
Maybe
worry.
just a half a drink
Put
more.
some records on
The
the
neighbors
floor,
might
baby,
think.
it's bad out there.
Say what's
No
in the
cabs
spring.
to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your eyes are like
how
starlight
to break
now.
the spell.
I'll take your hair looks
I'll
better.
say no, no, no.
Mind if
sir.
I'm moving
At least
closer?
gonna say that I
What's this I heard about
tried.
Friday? Baby, don't hold out.
Oh,
Baby, it's cold outside.
I simply
Hey, baby, it's
don't.
cold outside.
The answer
Oh,
is
baby, it's
no.
cold outside.
The welcome
How
is
lucky that you
been
dropped
so nice and
in.
warm.
Look out the window at that
My sister
store.
will be suspicious.
Gosh, your lips look
My
delicious.
brother will be there at the door.
Waves upon a tropical
My
shore.
midnight's mind is
Gosh, your lips are delicious.
Maybe just a cigarette more.
Such a
I gotta go
oh,
home.
baby, it freeze out there. It
Stand
is
in
up
a
to your
cold.
knees out there.
You've really been
I'm thrilled when you touch
crying,
my
my
hand.
love.
How can you do that thing to me?
Let me talk to
Think
my
about
love.
life, love,
At least
sorrow.
we're plenty of
If you're gonna
fun.
be right, hey,
We're very happy to be here. This is our home, so we're happy to be home doing it in New York.
Take me back to the beginning of how this show came about, Mandy. What I love about it, it's seamless.
It came about, I don't know, about 9 years ago. A guy in Richardson, Texas wanted each of us to come and do like 20 minutes, and I hate those kind of evenings. So I said, you know, I'm not going to do that. And before I blew it off, I said to Paul Ford, my collaborator, piano player for 24 years, I said, you think we can put together a story that, you know, has a journey with two souls? And he said, yeah. So I asked Patti, was she game? She said, go ahead, doll, and we did it. And we've been doing it for 9 years on and off, you know, and so now we're home.
So who chose all the material?
Paul and I and myself, and then Patti would put her input in, but we collected all of her repertoire and my repertoire, but then we looked at the ocean of material out there, which is endless, and because we were trying to tell a story, and then we decided what we needed best for the story. So a lot of stuff we learned that we'd never done before, and so it just found its way.
Because it's a beautiful mix of music. There's Sondheim, there's Kander and Ebb, there's Rodgers and Hammerstein. The mix is so beautiful.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
And talk about what it's like being back on Broadway together, first time since Evita.
It's just great. I just can't believe, you know, when I look at Patti, I'm 30 years younger, so I'm back in time. It's 30 years ago. I might as well be at the Broadway Theater doing Evita. It's just time stops. I get to be in this time tunnel for a second, you know. So I got to pinch myself. I don't want it to go away.
And I love the arrangements because it sounds like an orchestra, but it's the piano and the bass.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Mine. Yeah, Paul Ford and mine.
Why did you decide on that?
Well, I like the sparseness of it, because if you have a whole orchestra on stage, there's a lot of humanity up there, and it's a whole other kind of energy. And I want the focus to be on the words and the story. And so all my concert life has just been Paul Ford on an upright piano. He usually plays an upright piano by himself. But certain shows like the Patti Mandy show, we use a grand piano and we have John Beal on the bass. So different things, you know, I mix it up. But I like it to be very sparse and contained. Because it then focuses everything on the words. And I like to come and listen to the words too. You know, the experience I have is the comfort that I have being with the audience. You know, I'm not alone. I didn't grow up with this stuff, but the words and stories talk to me. So to sit with other people who also feel like it talks to them, it's a comfort. You know, we all listen to it together. I'm just the mailman. It just comes through me. But you know, I didn't write it. These geniuses who wrote down what they wish for themselves in the world wrote it down, and we get to be the beneficiaries of it.
Because Patti said the same thing. She goes, I'm the girl singer.
Yeah. I'm the guy singer, right. I'm the guy mailman. She's the lady mailman.
And just talk about
woman.
the Barrymore. What a beautiful house to play. What is it like for you?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean, the acoustics are beautiful. It's just a magnificent house. You know, it's where Marlon Brando did Streetcar Named Desire. So, Ilya Kazan's production. So it's pretty cool to be there.
There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
But Patti was saying for a singer, it's a great house. Those old houses, the way your voice goes out, it comes back. It's a beautiful feel for a singer.
Yeah. You can, you know, the most ironic house on all of Broadway to me is the Music Box Theater, built by Irving Berlin, one of our great composers. It's the worst acoustics of any place I've experienced in my life. You'd think that Irving Berlin would have built a great house. But this place, Barrymore, which the actor is named after a great actor, but the acoustics are gorgeous. They're glorious. You almost don't need any amplification. You really don't, but we do because we like it.
You don't need analyzing. It is not so surprising that you feel very strange but nice. Your heart goes pitter-patter. I know just what's the matter, because I've been there once or twice. Put your head on my shoulder. You need someone who's older. I rub down with a velvet glove. There is nothing you can take to release the pleasant ache. You're not sick, you're just in love.
singing and there's no
It is
one
not
there.
so surprising that you
I smell
feel
blossoms
very
and the
nice.
trees are playing all
Your
day.